Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome into my first ever live stream on my brand new New York Knicks channel, which you guys have been showing so much love and support. I wanted to go live on this channel for the first time and give you guys a quick Q&A and, talk about some New York Knicks. There's a lot of stuff that we can get into in this stream, and I'm excited to hear some of you guys jump in here and talk about some Knicks basketball. Again, this is my first time ever going live on this channel, so I'm excited to get things rolling. I'm waiting for some people to join in, and hopefully we can get a bunch of people in here. And I'm so excited to finally go live and talk about the New York Knicks. Welcome into the stream. If you guys are in here, welcome in. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing tonight? How is everybody doing? Let's go Knicks. If you guys have any questions, shoot it my way about the New York Knicks. I would love to talk about the Knicks. Knicks Q. All right, guys. So how's everybody doing tonight? Let's go Knicks. So tonight, there's no brand new news for the Knicks today. So I decided, all right, there's no news to report on. So I'll go live and I'll talk about some Knicks content that I'm going to be doing in the future. I actually recorded a Knicks YouTube 2K video that unfortunately I had some technical difficulties, so I cannot upload it. But eventually, I'll be posting some PS5 NBA 2K content. So with that being said, let's jump right into the Q&A. Everybody, welcome in. Everyone, smash that like button on your way in. That would help out the channel a lot, so we can get this stream out there to as many people as possible. All right, first question of the night. Thoughts on the Knicks placement in the East standings this year? This is interesting because I feel like every year I'm always predicting the Knicks to go get that 8th seed and make the playoffs, but I'm going to be a little more realistic. I mean, they've never been more likely to make the 8th seed more than this year. I think that there's a big chance that Tom Thibodeau comes in here and is an immediate culture changer and can be that coach that turns this organization around quickly. And I really do think that we could make the playoffs at an 8th or 7th seed. And I think there is a lot of moves to be made. I feel like the Knicks are also doing some crazy trades behind the scenes that we do not know yet. And I'm excited. Loving this channel, man. Thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate the love. Always appreciate the love from you guys. This has been one of my favorite channels I've made so far. You guys have been showing so much love and support on this so far. Do you think that Alec Burks will be a good fit for the Knicks? I feel like Alec Burks will be a solid fit just to provide depth at that 2 spot, and we need shooting. So we'll see. We got Sports Fan in here, one of my loyal subscribers over my Jets channel. He is a Brooklyn Nets fan, but he's coming in here supporting some love to me. I appreciate that, Sports Fan. Even though, screw the Nets, let's go Knicks. Do you think Randall will be traded? I hope so. I hope Julius Randle will be gone because I am not a fan of his, and I want to see Obi Toppin take flight. Do you think RJ Barrett is going to be good this season? Yes, I am so high on RJ Barrett. You see my RJ jersey right there. I think that RJ is going to take that next step this year. I think that we saw a promising rookie, season from him. He finished statistically the only teenager ever to average 14 points per game, I think 6 assists, or I don't know the exact numbers, but he is an elite company with like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Luka Doncic for the stats he brought up. But the one issue he had his rookie season was definitely his, efficiency. He did not have the highest field goal percentage or free throw percentage, so that's a little bit concerning. But I think RJ is a guy that puts his head down and works hard, and he's only going to get better. I think his 3-point shot's going to get better. I think that he's elite going to the rim, and I also feel like he's a very underrated playmaker, and I think we're going to see a lot of alley-oops to Obi Toppin and backdoor cuts, and, can we be the next Lob City? I really genuinely think so. I mean, with Obi Toppin and Mitchell Robinson being, our power forward and center, those two are lob finishers, and we could potentially be the next Lob City because I think the one thing we lack in terms of being the Lob City is that, playmaker, because Chris Paul was, that for the Los Angeles Clippers. He would be the guy that would throw up the lobs to Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. And I think that a comparison, this could be a really realistic comparison. I do think that Obi Toppin could be compared to Blake Griffin in terms of, a freakishly athletic power forward who can go up there, high flyer, box office, make the crazy dunks. And then DeAndre Jordan and Mitchell Robinson are literally the same exact player, in my opinion. I think that. Let me see. Do you think that RJ will be a good fit with Tom Thibodeau? I genuinely do think so. I think that RJ is a very good defensive player, but I feel like he needs more coaching to up his defensive play, and I feel like Tom Thibodeau is the guy to do that. Thoughts on Kevin Knox's production? I am actually really high on Kevin Knox as well. I genuinely think that a lot of Knicks fans are giving up on him too early. I knew when we drafted him, he was a 19-year-old. He was like the youngest player in the draft. And I knew that, okay, Kevin Knox, he's going to be another Frank Ntilikina. He's going to have a lot of, he's going to take a lot of time to develop. He's not going to become a star right away. And we're going to have to evaluate Kevin Knox in 3 to 4 years. But at the same time, we see all these other players like Luka Doncic and John Morant and all these other 19-year-olds that are playing well. So we're like, oh, well, why can't Knox do that? Knox is very raw. I think the one thing that Kevin Knox needs to work on is his confidence. I think that the big reason why he regressed the second year is because he went from being a starter as a rookie, and then second year he came off the bench. He wasn't in rhythm, and David Fizdale just did not know how to use him properly. So I think that Kevin Knox, if he can get a consistent jump shot, I think that he has potential to be a nice, backup small forward. I don't think that his ceiling is going to be a star. I don't think that he's going to be an all-star, but I think Kevin Knox could be a very solid guy off the bench for the Knicks. What do you think about the Barrett Toppin duo for the Knicks' future? This gets me excited, man. It definitely gets me excited. I think that we got our 2 studs in the past 2 drafts in the first 2 rounds. We'll see Obi Toppin. Obviously we have not seen him play one game as a New York Knick as of yet. But I've seen RJ Barrett, and I think RJ Barrett has potential to be a star in this league. And Obi Toppin has that potential as well. He was the best player in college basketball last year, and he is NBA ready. It's not like we have to wait for Obi to develop, such as Frank Ntilikina or Knox. He's 22 years old, and he's ready to win now. I think that Barrett and Toppin duo for the Knicks will be lethal. And Obi said that in his interview. He said he's excited to be with RJ, and I genuinely think that. Wow, I just realized that my Jets Media logo is on the top of the screen. Wow, that's embarrassing. Sorry for that, guys. If you guys are new to the stream, make sure you smash that like button. I would appreciate that a ton. I want to get this Knicks stream out to as many people as possible. We got 23 people liking and 12 likes. Let's see if we can get this over 20 likes. If you guys are enjoying it, I'm having a lot of fun right now talking Knicks basketball, to be honest with you guys. Miles Powell, does he make the team? This is an interesting question because Miles Powell is definitely a big signing for the Knicks. I loved him out of college. He surprisingly went undrafted. I thought he was going to go in the second round, and we got a steal. I do not think that he's going to make the team day one because of all the guards we've signed. I mean, we have so many people on this team. There has to be a trade coming because there's no way we can go into, opening day with Austin Rivers, Emmanuel Quickley, Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr., Alec Burks, excuse me. I'm definitely forgetting some people, and there's a lot of guards. So I don't know if Alec Burks has room to make the team. I would love for him to make the team, though, because I think he has a lot of chances. What do you think of the chances of the Knicks landing Russell Westbrook? Russell Westbrook, I would like to see him on the Knicks, but at the same time, I wouldn't. Where this Knicks team is right now, I just feel like Russell Westbrook doesn't fit in the timeline of how Leon Rose is building this team. If Leon Rose really wants to build this team the right way, he should not trade for Russell Westbrook. We have the cap flexibility to pay him, but I feel like he's going to slow down the development of guys like RJ and all these other point guards. I just don't feel like Russell Westbrook could get the job done because, listen, we're not going to win a championship with Westbrook, so what's the point? That's how I really look at it. Who gets the starting job at point guard? This is a good question. Is it going to be Elfrid Payton, Frank, Dennis Smith Jr., Austin Rivers, or someone via trade? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I personally would like to be Frank Ntilikina. I'm high on Frank, but just because I feel like Frank is going to be flourishing under Tom Thibodeau, because we know the one thing about Frank, I know a lot of Knicks fans are, half like Frank, half are over Frank. But I think every single Knicks fan can agree that he is borderline elite when it comes to defense. I think the only thing that Frank lacks is his confidence on offense and being consistent. I think that Frank is going to tap into another level of his defense this year. You think Mitchell Robinson will stay out of foul trouble this season? That is definitely going to be something that Kenny Payne and all the assistant coaches are going to harp on with Mitch, because that's his only issue. I feel like that's really his only issue. And another thing about Mitchell Robinson, I want to see him stretch the floor and shoot some 3-point jump shots, because we see what he's doing at the gym. Yes, I know it's open gym. No one's there. No one's contesting him. It's not in the middle of a game, but he has a jump shot. I mean, he has the potential, but Fizdale and the coaches, they didn't really want to let him shoot the ball. And Tom Thibodeau is coming from the Timberwolves, who had Karl Anthony Towns, who was that, 3-point shooting center. I would love to see Mitch stretch the floor and shoot some threes. And yes, he does have to get rid of that foul trouble, because that is a issue. Do you think Frank has a bright future? I just mentioned this. I do think Frank has a bright future. I am one of those guys that thinks that they should not trade him, because I feel like Frank would flourish on a team that has a system that fits him well. And now that we have a system with Tom Thibodeau, an actual, if you go back and look at Tom Thibodeau's track record, he has been to the playoffs with 2 different teams. He's brought the Chicago Bulls from a terrible team to the playoffs. He brought the Timberwolves from a terrible team to the playoffs. And Tom Thibodeau is a defensive-minded coach. Frank Ntilikina, a defensive-minded player. I think that he has a bright future for sure. Yeah, man, everyone's saying the same thing. If Mitch starts hitting threes, he's going to be a problem. I'm telling you guys, Mitchell Robinson, we have not seen that side of his game yet, and I'm so excited to finally see him shoot threes. If you guys are new to the stream, make sure you smash that like button. And this is my first time ever going live on this channel, and I'm already having a blast. We got 45 people watching already, 24 likes. Let's see if we can get this over 30 likes. If you guys are enjoying the video, make sure you smash that like button. I'm so excited to keep bringing you guys Knicks content. This is so much fun. As a Knicks GM, what moves would you have made differently? Congrats on the channel. Really enjoy it. Thank you so much for congratulating me, man. I appreciate the support. Honestly, I can't think of something that I would do differently, because I am in love with what this Knicks front office have done so far. Definitely way better than previous, front offices. Scott Perry has been here for a couple years, but Leon Rose is in charge. And I think that he is going to build this team the right way. If you asked me this question last year, I would have said definitely should not have signed Julius Randle. How do I feel about Iggy? I think Iggy has a lot of potential. I mean, we saw a lot of flashes from Iggy in the G League last year. He was lighting it up. I mean, I was just watching I would get lost in his tape at the Westchester Knicks, and I'm like, this guy deserves to be in the NBA. I don't know why he was never brought up. I was really disappointed they never gave him opportunity to shine last year, because he was, a beast. You know what? A lot of people in the chat are actually reminding me, wouldn't have signed Elfrid. That is a good point. That is something I probably wouldn't have done. I was pretty happy when we waived him, and then when we signed him, I was like, I'm not a fan of Elfrid Payton. The one thing about Elfrid Payton I will say is he's definitely a really good defender at that point guard position. I feel like they want to have defense at that guard spot. We have that with Frank, and now we have that with Elfrid Payton. Dennis Smith Jr., he's not a defensive guy. Emmanuel Quickley, he's not a defensive guy. And Austin Rivers, he's a defensive guy. So I feel like that's why they want to have as much depth at that spot as possible. RJ underrated or overrated? I think RJ is extremely underrated, man. I feel like, rightfully so, the media should be hyping up Zion and John Morant because they are phenomenal. But I also feel like they are forgetting about RJ Barrett. He didn't have the most flashy rookie season, but he didn't even make first team All-Pro. First team All-Rookie is what I meant. And that's just totally disrespectful. If you look at his numbers, it was better than almost a lot of rookies. So he's so underrated, and it really is unfortunate. And even in 2K, he's underrated. He's only 75 overall. They gave Obi Toppin a better overall than RJ Barrett. That's disgraceful. I love Obi, but he hasn't played in the NBA yet. Nerlens Noel had really good numbers with OKC behind Adams in very limited minutes. Who will start, Noel or Mitchell? I hope Mitchell Robinson will start. I do love Nerlens Noel backing up Mitchell, because those are two defensive centers that are going to thrive. Those are going to be our defensive anchors that is going to lock down the paint. And I'm excited to see what they can do together. And I definitely think Mitchell Robinson should start. Obi for Rookie of the Year? I'm down, man. I mean, listen, Obi Toppin, I feel like, is the most NBA ready out of this draft. He was a top 5 draft pick in my books, and the Knicks were actually interested in trading up to get him, but they fell into his laps. and they got him at 8. I think that he has potential to be Rookie of the Year, but I'm not going to say that because last year I said RJ was going to win Rookie of the Year. He did not. Let me see. Does Dennis Smith Jr. have a spot on this team, or should he be traded or waived? That's a good question. I don't know if Dennis Smith has a position on this team because he has showed inconsistency last year. He kind of disappointed me. I love Dennis Smith Jr. coming out of college. I wanted the Knicks to draft him, actually. Then he came to the Knicks, and he just looks like a guy that's more than an athlete than a basketball player, if that makes sense. He looks like a guy that can go up there and make some crazy dunks, but he doesn't have that consistent jump shot. He doesn't have that really good playmaking ability, that dribble. He kind of looks lackadaisical with his dribbling. So I don't know if Dennis Smith has he might get traded, honestly. I would love to see Dennis Smith develop into our point guard, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Between Quickly and Powell, who do you think will have a bigger impact? I think Quickly will. I think Quickly is one of a very slept on draft pick from the Knicks. He won SEC Player of the Year. He is a sharp shooting 3-point point guard. I know a lot of people commented on my video about Quickly saying that he's not a point guard. He's a shooting guard. That is incorrect. Emmanuel Quickly is a point guard, and he said it in an interview today saying, like, I feel most comfortable playing that one spot, but I do think he will be coming in at that 2 spot to be, that shooter off the bench. And I think that Powell has potential as well, but I think Quickly is going to get more minutes to start off. Who do you think will break out on the Knicks this year? I think it could be Kevin Knox, but I'm not sure. It's a very unpredictable season. You got that right, Age. You got that right, man. I feel like this is such an unpredictable season, and I would love to see Kevin Knox break out because I was such a big fan of his coming out, and I would love to see Kevin Knox become something because I know there's like 75% of Knicks fans give up on Knox, and I'm not one of them. I still think that this is the year where he needs to show up because if he does not show up this year, then yeah, you're right. We need to move on from him. But, I'm going to say that Kevin Knox will be that guy that breaks out. Which rookie will be the fan favorite? I think the next rookie that's going to be the fan favorite is Obi Toppin for one simple reason. He's box office. He's going to be making crazy highlight dunks. He's going to be dunking on people. When he's in the open court, he's going to have a windmill. It's so unfortunate that this pandemic is a thing because I would love to see that happen in a packed, sold-out Madison Square Garden. But yeah, I think Obi Toppin is definitely will be the fan favorite. If you guys are new to the stream, make sure you smash that like button. We are now over 100 people watching this right now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's get this out to as many Knicks fans as possible. If you guys are enjoying the stream, smash that like button. I would appreciate that so much. You guys are the best. Knicks fans definitely are the best in the NBA. No doubt, man. No doubt. Do you think Quickly will get good minutes? I hope so. I think Quickly will get good minutes off the bench. Barring any injuries, he will definitely come in. It's so interesting because there has to be a trade in the works because we have so many guards. It is ridiculous. So to answer that question, I hope Quickly gets the minutes, and he should. What do you think, Knicks? Do you think Knicks should trade for Seth Curry? Yeah, I mean, Seth Curry is a guy that is a sharpshooter, and we need as much shooting as possible. I feel like the one thing that Knicks have lacked for a long time is consistent, long-range shooting. So if Seth Curry, I don't know if really has we have so many guards, so I don't know, man. Toppin is going to be like Blake Griffin his rookie year. Frank, I agree, man. That's my comparison. I always said Obi Toppin reminds me of Blake Griffin, and somebody said, can this Knicks team be the next Lob City? And I said, yo, listen, I mean, Lob City had Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. This year, we got Obi Toppin and Mitchell Robinson. The one thing we're missing is that Chris Paul type of point guard to, lob it up to them. But I do think RJ Barrett is a guy that can get them involved heavily with that lob. Wow, you guys are awesome. We are already over 50 likes. Thank you guys so much for hitting that like button. You guys are phenomenal. Go Knicks from the Philippines. Wow. Welcome in from the Philippines. Thank you so much for tuning in. Will Mitchell Robinson lead the NBA in blocks per game? I think the only way he leads the league in blocks is if he stays out of foul trouble and if he's healthy. I think he has all the potential in the world. Mitchell Robinson broke the NBA record for the highest field goal percentage in NBA history. Yes, I know they're shortened seasons, but still, that is phenomenal. Mitchell Robinson is breaking so many records. He's like the fastest Knicks player to get 100 blocks, beating Kristaps. So he's going to be good, man. With all that's going on, I'm really starting to believe we have a really good chance at getting Giannis next season with how Leon is able to negotiate and the cap. Listen, Knicks fans are notorious for getting hyped up for that big ticket free agent and getting disappointed. But listen, Leon Rose is setting this team up to be able to get a guy like Giannis. And let me quickly give my little take on why I feel like Leon Rose is doing everything the right way. What he's trying to do is right now, he's not going to get out there and get a max contract because this team is not. He's saving that money for that max contract to be a mega superstar like a Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's what he's doing. If you look at what, I'm going to look at what the Brooklyn Nets did, because what they did is they drafted well, they built through the draft, and they started winning games with their young core, with no talent, with no like star talent on the roster. That is what made them attractable for guys like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving to come. So what the Knicks are trying to do, I think, is this season, they're going to let all the young guys play. RJ Barrett's going to be the star. Mitchell Robinson's going to be getting the ball. Obi Toppin, we'll see. But I think that if the Knicks young core can really show up this year and make the playoffs, or just show that they're trending in the right direction and they have all the cap space and they have all the draft capital, that is what is going to attract a guy like Giannis. That is what attracts free agents. I know a lot of people are like, no one wants to go to the Knicks. Nobody wants to. Oh, we're getting Kevin Durant and Kyrie, and then they go to Brooklyn. The reason why they didn't come to the Knicks is because we have not had this sustainable type of culture that Leon Rose is trying to build, and it's going to take a long time. Please trade Randall. I couldn't agree more. I think Julius Randle needs to go. And I feel like Leon Rose might be doing that because, there's a big contract that comes with Julius Randle. So it's going to be hard to trade him. But I feel like with all the second round picks we got, I would give up a second round pick just to get rid of Julius. But at the same time, Julius Randle's not a terrible player, but I'm not a fan of his. I would love to trade him. Love to trade him. This is a funny question. Better 3-point percentage this season, Mitch or Dennis Smith Jr.? I'm going to go with Mitchell Robinson because he's going to shoot less and he's going to make a decent amount. Hopefully. That's a bold take. Am I right? So I went back and watched Dennis Smith Jr. first year, and he was pretty good point guard. Do you think they can get him back on track? I really hope so. He changed his number back to number 4, so maybe the jersey number has a lot to do with it. No, I'm just kidding. But Dennis Smith Jr., I loved. I talked about him earlier out of college, and on the Mavericks, he looked like a really potential star in the league, and then he came to the Knicks, and it just looks like the coaching didn't help him out. So, Tom Thibodeau loves his point guards, and I think that he has a lot of potential to really develop. Let me see. Well, should the Knicks... Trying to see which question. There's a lot of questions, guys. A lot of questions coming in. You guys are awesome. Starting lineup. All right. Starting lineup. Let's see. Oh, man. I don't even know who's going to start at the 1. I don't know. My gut is telling me Elfrid Payton, but I'm going to say this is who I want to start. I want to see. A lot of people won't agree with this, but Frank Ntilikina at the 1, RJ Barrett at the 2, Kevin Knox at the 3, Obi Toppin at the 4, Mitchell Robinson at the 5. That is a young team. That is ridiculously young. And I'm down to see our young squad out there. And yes, I did say Kevin Knox at the 3 because I want to see him get some minutes. If you guys are new to the stream, make sure you smash that like button. We have over 140 people watching this right now with 63 likes. You guys are awesome. Let's get this over 75 likes if you guys are enjoying the stream so far. You guys are showing so much love on this channel. You guys have no idea. I literally started this less than a week ago, and I'm already at 1,600 subscribers. That is absolutely insane. You guys are awesome. You guys have been showing so much love in the comment section. It's unbelievable. Knicks fans, you guys are phenomenal. I'm so happy to be part of Knicks community, man. So happy to be part of the Knicks community. All right, let's get into more questions. Love that lineup. Let them get bumps and bruises together and grow. Couldn't agree more, man. Frank at the 1, RJ, Knox, Obi, and Mitch. That is a fire lineup, in my opinion. Will Obi Toppin dunk on Kevin Durant in the season? That would be phenomenal. Obi Toppin is going to take a lot of bodies this year. Obi Toppin is going to be dunking on a lot of people. Let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks, Joey. Oh, yeah, Reggie Bullock. I haven't even mentioned him. I completely forget about Reggie. He's another guard that we signed. He's a 3-and-D guy that I actually was hoping to see a little bit more this year, and he kind of disappointed me, but he was battling a lot of injuries, so hopefully he can get healthy and play. Your lineup was great, but Frank is ass. Dennis Smith Jr. is the guard till we trade or develops. Yeah, man, I feel like that point guard position could be up in the air. It could be going from a different people. It could be Frank. It could be Dennis. It could be Alfred. It could be Austin Rivers. It could be Emmanuel Quickly. Like, those are 5 point guards at his name. There's a lot of people on this roster. Imagine Mitch lobbing OB. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I heard today that Victor Oladipo, Scott Perry wants him, but Leon Rose doesn't want to push into it. That's interesting. That is definitely interesting. You know, Scott Perry is someone that wants to win now. Leon Rose is like, listen, man, we are trying to build this team the right way, and that's going to take time, and that's not going to sacrifice our wins now. Victor Oladipo is a stud, though. I will give him that, but I don't know if he has – I don't know. That would be interesting if we bring in Victor. I don't know how realistic that is. Randall has to be traded. Couldn't agree more, man. We need a facilitator at point guard. I agree, Christopher. I think that this team does lack a true point guard that gets everybody around him better. Like, we need a guy that can elevate people. We need somebody that can get RJ in rhythm, that can run the pick and roll with Obi and Mitch. We don't really have that, man. We don't have that. RJ needs to be the focus. I agree. I think RJ Barrett is the future of this channel. I think RJ Barrett is the future of this Knicks team. I think that he's going to be the best player on this team for the future in terms of who we draft. If we bring in somebody else in free agency that's better than him, by all means. I am really high in RJ and, of course, Mitchell Robinson. Yeah, so there's a lot of questions coming in. Wow, we got over 180 people in on the stream. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. If you're new to the stream, make sure you smash that like button on your way in. You guys are showing me so much love. A true point guard can only benefit the development of RJ, Obi, and Mitch. Exactly. I couldn't agree more. That's what this team lacks the most. But I don't know. We'll see how they do this year. We will see what they will do without that. Should the Knicks trade for Smart? I mean, we have so many guards where I don't feel like we need any guards, but I feel like Smart would be a good person to bring in just in terms of defense. On the break, RJ, Top, and Mitch, Iggy. That sounds fire. There's so much hype that's going into this Knicks team, and I'm so excited. What's your super chat? Right now, I do not have super chat available, but I appreciate you wanting to send a donation. When that is available, I will let you know. I appreciate that, man. How many games? Oh, wait. If someone will be traded before the season, who will it be? Julius Randle. Hope so, man. Will the Knicks be better offensively or defensively? I think that this is going to be a defensive team. I think this team needs to get into that 90s Knicks energy by, if you're coming to the rim, you're going to get hacked. I mean, with guys like Mitchell Robinson and Obi Toppin, not Obi Toppin, he's not a defensive guy. Mitchell Robinson and Nerlens Noel rotating at that center spot. I feel like they're going to be the defensive anchors. Frank Ntilikina is a lockdown guy at that, guard spot. Elfrid Payton's a good guy that could defend. RJ Barrett's low-key, pretty good. I think that we're going to be better defensively just because Tom Thibodeau is a defensive-minded coach. Quickly start at point. I don't think he's going to start. I would like for him to start. I think that would be awesome, but I don't think he's going to start. But I am excited to see what Emmanuel Quickly can do because we need desperately, three-point shooting, like consistent three-point jump shots we need really bad. So I've been live for 30 minutes so far, and I'm enjoying this so much. If you guys want to see me go live more often, let me know because I will be going live. And listen, guys, I recorded an NBA 2K video today, but it unfortunately got deleted, so I'm going to have to redo it all. So in the future, stay tuned. I'm going to my first 2K video is going to be me going on, reversing people online as the New York Knicks, and it is so fun. The PS5 NBA 2K. The Knicks on 2K is really fun. So stay tuned for that. Do we trade for Simmons? I don't see us trading for Simmons. I don't think that's realistic. Over or under 35 wins. So this is a good question. I don't want to sit here and be delusional. I don't want to sit here and say the Knicks are going to the playoffs and making it to the Eastern Conference Finals, because I'm a realistic kind of guy. I'm a realistic fan, but at the same time, I'm getting really hyped up because Knicks fans, we deserve to be happy right now. This is the first time we've looked like a real team. You know what I mean? So, I'm going to say over. I'm saying over 35 wins. I'm doing it, man. I'm doing it. Maybe 36 wins, but over. Let's go, Knicks. Love the channel. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the support. King the man. Thank you so much, man. Is it true 7 draft picks in 2021, 3 first round, 4 second? We have so many draft picks. It's hard to even comprehend how many draft picks this team has. It's a lot. It's a lot, guys. Wow, this guy sees it, man. 41-31, Knicks 8th seed. Joel is riding the Knicks optimistic wave, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Yeah, to be realistic, guys, I don't know if the Knicks are going to win 35 games. We always get hyped up in the offseason. We always see all these players getting signed in the draft, and then we all know what happens. We usually get disappointed. But it's a new energy for the Knicks. We got a brand new coach. It's not the same old Knicks, and I'm excited to see what can happen. Should the Knicks trade RJ for a superstar? No. I do not think they should trade RJ Barrett at all. They need to hold on to their players that they draft and develop them to make them their star. Do we sign Anthony Davis? I think he's not leaving LA. He's going to sign back with them eventually. Mitch going to be an all-star this year. He has the potential to be an all-star. I think that if he breaks out, I think what determines Mitchell Robinson becoming an all-star is if he starts shooting three-pointers consistently and making them. Because we saw him in the open gym. We don't know what he can do on the court. I don't think he's attempted 1 3-pointer in his career, but that's what's going to come down to. There is a lot of questions coming in, man. What do you think a realistic trade for Westbrook? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't really want to trade for Westbrook, so I'm not going to answer that. What trade do you think we are going to pull off? I'm hoping that we pull off a trade that includes Julius Randle, because I do not want him here. I do not want Julius Randle on my team. I want Obi Toppin as the starting power forward so he can develop and become our starter for the future. Can the rebuild be a 2-year? Excuse me, I can't even read that. Can the Knicks be a 2-year rebuild, or is it going to be longer? Listen, guys, I think that it's going to take a long time for this Knicks team to be a championship caliber team. I'm not saying it's going to take a while for them to be competitive, but there's one goal in the NBA, and that's to win an NBA championship. And that's what the Knicks are trying to do. And that's not going to happen in a year. It's not going to happen in 2 years. It's going to happen in 3 to 5 years. I think that the Knicks need to have that long-term vision, have a mandate. Listen, we need to compete for a championship within the next 3 to 5 years. That's going to take time. What about Ingram from the Pelicans? This is interesting. Because Brandon Ingram is a restricted free agent, meaning that the Pelicans can match any offer that's given to him, and he has not been re-signed yet. I would love to see all of a sudden the Knicks get Brandon Ingram, because that is a position that has a huge hole. We don't really have a number, we don't really have a starting small forward that gets us excited. I think Kevin Knox has ability to, develop into something, but I don't know if he's going to be, our future small forward. If we sign Brandon Ingram and our starting 5 includes RJ Barrett, Brandon Ingram, Mitchell Robinson, Obi Toppin, that's a squad. But I don't know if that's a bit good fit for him, for the Knicks. I don't know, man. We'll see. How do you think RJ and Obi can play together? I think that RJ Barrett and Obi Toppin are going to have a lot of fun together, because how many times did we see, RJ throw up the lob to Mitch? We're going to see the same thing. RJ Barrett is one of the best at going to the rim. He is a relentless finisher, And when he is getting double teamed and it opens up Obi Toppin, he also has that playmaking ability to, facilitate. And I'm excited to see that. What year do we win the title? 2025, New York Knicks are NBA champions. I know that's a long time away, and Knicks fans don't want to hear that, but we're not going to do it anytime soon. It takes a lot to win a championship, guys. It takes a lot. Would I trade for Lonzo? Yeah, I love Lonzo Ball. I think Lonzo Ball would fit this team the right way because he is a guy that brings defense and playmaking. I think that, but it's just like we have so many guards already. It's like, how many guards can we have? How many people are going to trade for? So I don't think we're going to trade for Lonzo, but I would love to because I am a Lonzo fan. Exactly. We need to first make the playoffs before talking about championships. I know. I agree. How excited am I for Steve Cohen? You want to talk about the Mets real quick? I'm kidding. I'm not going to get into the Mets. I have a whole other channel about the Mets if you guys are interested, but I'm very excited about Steve Cohen. Lonzo is garbage. Okay. Some people are not Lonzo fans. Some people do like him. How will the Knicks improve defensively? It all comes down to coaching and, utilizing the talent on the roster right. What's my Mets channel? My Mets channel is Mets Media. Mets Media. Just like Knicks Media, but Mets. Omari Spellman not getting any burn, but I think he will be huge for this team. Yeah, I mean, that trade was phenomenal from Leon Rose. We took Ed Davis on, got 2 future second-round picks just for paying $5 million. We flip him for another second-round pick in Omari Spellman and Jacob Evans. That's just, you cannot ask for a better trade for that. I mean, Leon Rose is playing chess out there. Wow. We got over 200 people in the stream right now. Make sure you smash that like button. Can we get this over 100 likes? If you guys are enjoying this, make sure you smash that like button because we got a lot of people coming in, a lot of new people. And also, if you're not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I'm posting a lot of Knicks content in the future. And I got a lot of things in plan. I'm going to be posting player profiles. I'm going to break down each individual player on the Knicks. I'm going to break down each position group. I'm going to break down the coaches. I'm going to break down the front office, some predictions, what they should do in the future, Leon Rose's vision. I'm going to be bringing you guys content throughout the season. So there is a lot of content to come. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already. What's Obi's 2K rating? Obi's 2K rating is a 76. Love the channel. Good luck, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. What do you think of Miles Powell? I think Miles Powell was a steal for an undrafted rookie. I did not think that he was going to be undrafted. I thought he was going to be in the second round at least, and we got a steal. I think that he's a stud. I feel like he's a shooting guard that can do a lot. He has that step back jumper. He's a lethal 3-point shooter. He can do a lot, man. He can do a lot. Who has the better chance of making the playoffs next year, Knicks or Jets? Wow, that is a really hard question because the Jets are the worst team in the NFL, if not the worst team in NFL history. So I'm going to say the Knicks. But if the Jets get Trevor Lawrence, it might be different. Alfred underrated. Alfred, I definitely did not want him to get re-signed with the Knicks. I was really happy to move on from him. The only thing underrated about Elfrid Payton is his playmaking. But I feel like Alfred's playmaking is kind of like a selfish playmaker in terms of he just wants to get assists. He's like, all right, I'm going to dribble the ball for 20 seconds, and then the last second I'll pass it to you. You better shoot because I want to assist so I can pad my stats. That's the type of playmaking vibes I got from him. And he's a very good defender, though. We'll give him that. Who's the best Knicks dunker this year? I think Obi Toppin's going to reclaim the throne as the best Knicks dunker. If you look up Obi Toppin highlights, it's literally all dunks. Kind of gets me a little worried that it's only dunks because I want to see him do more than dunk the ball. But I know there's way more to his game. He can shoot the ball from 3. He has a mid-range shot, and he could hopefully develop in the post, and most importantly, needs to improve defensively. Wow, we are over 120 likes. You guys are phenomenal. We have 235 people watching in my first ever Knicks live stream. If you guys want to see more live streams, please let me know. I just came off a live stream on my other channel about the Jets, so you guys are absolutely amazing. Obi Toppin's stat prediction. I think that Obi Toppin can finish the season as a rookie, averaging 15 points per game, 6 rebounds, um, 1 assist, 2 assists per game. Is that reasonable? Is 15 too much? um, the live is popping. What's up, Ali? Welcome into the stream, my man. For those guys that do not know, I have a podcast called Loyal Media Sports Podcast. This is it right here. This is my co-host who is talking about it. We talk about all New York Jets, but we are going to branch off and talk about all New York sports in terms of the Knicks, the Brooklyn Nets, the Rangers, everybody. So make sure you go check out Loyal Media Sports Podcast if you guys are interested in that. That would be phenomenal. Who do you think should start, Obi or Randall? Obi. Obi Toppin should start. Julius Randle is a bum. I'm not a fan of him. You know what? Julius Randle's not a bum. I feel like a lot of Knicks fans are hating on Julius Randle and he's like a bad basketball player. I don't think he's a bum, but I don't think he has a future on this team. And I feel like he isolates too much and he thinks he's a point forward when he's not. And he kind of takes away the development from players. You want to see more of live streams? Awesome. I will definitely continue to do live streams. You guys are awesome. We got a new sub, Lonzo Ball. Thoughts? I went over Lonzo Ball already. I would like Lonzo on the Knicks just in terms of he's a defensive guy that is a playmaker. But other than that, I don't know if we're going to get him. Is Kevin Knox a bust? I also went over this earlier in the stream. I do not think that he's a bust. I think that Kevin Knox has a lot of room to grow. He's only, 20 years old. He was the youngest player at the draft when we got him. And he's a guy that's going to be, even John Calipari said it when we drafted him. You got to be patient with Kevin Knox. He's not going to light up the league right away. It's different. Obi Toppin should come in and play well right away. Kevin Knox, I did not expect him to do so. Same thing with Frank Ntilikina. Ugh. Kevin needs coaching. Should stay with the Wildcats. Yeah, but we also got Kenny Payne from the Kentucky, who I'm really excited about to join the assistant coach for the Knicks. Is Frank a bust? I do not think Frank is a bust. I know the Knicks fans are divided right now, and half of them hate Frank, half of them love Frank. Me personally, I do not think that Frank Ntilikina is a bust. I think that his defense is so good where you can't label him as a bust. I know a lot of, people watch players and they just, judge them based on what they're doing offensively, but there's more to offense, guys. Defense wins championships, and Frank is a beast at defense. What grade would you give our front office? It has to be an A because we are finally flipping the script and we're doing stuff differently than usual. If this was the past, regimes for the Knicks front office, we would have paid Gordon Hayward $120 million and been mediocre. This Knicks team, it's hard to see the vision right now because it's such a long-term outlook that Leon Rose and the company is having. But you know what? I really think they're building things the right way. Do you have a gut feeling that Randall is going to be traded today? No. I don't even know. I want the Knicks to trade Julius Randle. Do I think they will? I don't think so. Because if you look at the roster, it makes sense for them to trade Julius Randle. But I think that they still have hope. They also brought in Kenny Payne, like I mentioned. He was an assistant on Kentucky, and he knows Julius Randle very well. And he's probably going to get into Julius Randle's ear. And Julius had some really good games last year. Julius had some games where he went off. He also had some games where he did absolutely terrible. So, I don't know. Should RJ play small forward? This is interesting. A lot of Knicks fans want to see him line up as a 3. I don't know. I think that his body frame and he's too he's a big dude, but I don't know if he could play the 3. I feel like he could do both. I don't want to label RJ as you're only a 3 or you're only a 2. I think he could do both. Should we inquire about Harden? I don't think so. I don't think that's realistic. I don't, if James Harden is like that much available to trade, if you think about James Harden on this roster right now, it would be pretty insane. James Harden is a superstar. James Harden is, I can't say no to that, man. Wow, we got a lot of questions coming in. I'm trying to keep up. I'm sorry if I do not get to everybody's questions. I'm sorry. There's flying in like wildfire. RJ can run point guard. I agree. I think RJ can run point guard. Do you see any superstars coming to New York anytime soon? Anytime soon. I do. Not next year, not the year after. No, I'll take that back. Not this year, obviously, but next year and the year after. I mentioned this earlier in the stream. What's going to determine us getting a star is winning with a young core and showing that this team is on the rise, because a superstar is not going to come to the Knicks unless they see them like, okay, this team is one player away from being in contention for the NBA title, and I'm that player. They need to start winning with the guys. They need RJ Barrett to take that next step to become an all-star level caliber player. We need Mitchell Robinson to establish himself as a stud at the center spot. We need Obi Toppin to look like a home run pick. And we need to just basically win games. It comes down to that. If this Knicks team could start winning games this year, it's going to become a very hot spot, because there is a lot of people that want to come in here if the Knicks are good. We got a lot of people asking about my starting lineup. I already did this earlier in the stream, but if you guys are new, I'll do it again. I personally think that the point guard position is up for grabs. I don't know who should start at the point guard, but if I would to do it on day one, I would like to see Frank out there. I'm a big Frank guy. So Frank at the 1, RJ at the 2, Kevin Knox at the 3, Obi Toppin at the 4, Mitchell Robinson at the 5. I think that's just a really young starting 5 that I think that will be really fun to watch. I think that it's going to be like those guys are all like 22 years old or younger, and it's going to be really fun to watch. I do think that would be fun to watch. If you guys have a different opinion on that, that's totally okay. If you guys want to list your, starting 5s in the chat, go right ahead. I think RJ at the 3 would also be smart, but there's so many different starting lineups you can come up with this team. There's so many, man. Wow, we have so many new people into the stream. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I'm posting a lot of Knicks content. And again, hit that like button. We have 138 likes and 257 people watching this. If you guys did not already, smash that like button, because I want to get this stream out there to as many Knicks fans as possible. I love talking Knicks basketball. And for those guys that do not know my story, real quick, I started up as a New York Jets YouTuber. I'm a Jets fan, and I have Jets Media, and that's doing really well. And then I'm like, you know what? The Knicks draft's coming. I'm like, you know what? Let me just make a Knicks channel for fun. I don't know who's gonna watch it, and I make my first Knicks video about Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickly becoming the Knicks, and it blows up. And then ever since then, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make one video about every single move the Knicks have make. And I've done it, and you guys are blowing it up. You guys are hitting the like button. You guys are subscribing. You guys are commenting. You guys are making this job way more easier, giving me motivation to put in work and create the best content I can, because I am a huge Knicks fan, as you guys can tell. And all you guys that are in the chat, you guys are diehard Knicks fans, because listen, if you are still a passionate Knicks fan after a decade of terrible play and being, ridiculed in the media, then you deserve a pat on your back. Because when we're good, there's going to be a lot of bandwagons, and you can tell everybody, I wasn't a bandwagon. I watched the Knicks every time they sucked. Me personally, I watch every single Knicks game, whether they're really good or really bad, and they haven't been really good for a while. So that tells you I've been watching a lot of bad Knicks basketball. Okay. Let me see some. This is an interesting starting lineup. Austin Rivers at the 1, Emmanuel Quickly at the 2, RJ, Obi, Mitch. I like that. That's a nice roster, a nice starting lineup. Jets are depressing. Trust me, I know. It is hard to have a Jets YouTube channel. It is really hard, but I still love it. And I'm hoping the Knicks do not make it hard. I'm hoping the Knicks start winning, so this channel can start, having some positive energy. Knicks since 85. Wow. Teddy, you are an OG Knicks fan. That is awesome. That is awesome. I wish I was alive for those 90s Knicks. That is one thing I'm unfortunate about. The Knicks are going 72-0. I couldn't agree more. I mean, is there any way they don't go 72-0? Isn't it like 100% chance? Like, that's obviously happening, guys. Come on. Where do you think the Mavericks pick will land? I think that, they're going to be competitive. It all comes down to health. If Kristaps is healthy, they're a way better team. If Luka is healthy, they're a playoff team. But they don't have depth. They don't really have a lot of good players outside of those two. I don't see the Mavericks playing well unless, it's really crazy because we have the Mavericks first round pick. I don't want to wish injuries on anybody, but say if Luka goes down and Kristaps goes down, then that draft pick is going to be really high. And I'm not wishing injuries on anybody. I love Luka. I think he's a sensational player. And Kristaps is another story, man. It's crazy about Kristaps. Kristaps Porzingis. What are your thoughts on the Knicks potentially trading Julius Randle, Kevin Knox, Dennis Smith Jr., and a future first-round pick for Westbrook? I don't know about that. I just feel like Russell Westbrook right now, we definitely have a hole at the point guard spot, but I don't think that's a smart trade in my opinion. I would not do that. I would hold on to Kevin Knox. I would hold on to Dennis Smith Jr. I would hold on to that first-round pick because I'd rather trade for somebody better than Russell Westbrook. I feel like Westbrook's way past his prime, and he's getting paid ridiculously, and he's not going to take us to the championship. I would not do that trade. Do you think we get a first for Julius? No, I don't think there's a team out there that would value Julius Randle for a first-round pick. I think that the only way we move on from Julius is if we package picks to send him away, just like what the Knicks are doing. The Knicks are kind of like, they have a lot of cap space and they're using it as advantage. They're like, yo, if any team out there wants to get, cap relief, let us know. We'll take money and you give us draft picks. So I feel like that's what they're going to have to do with Julius. They're going to have to be like, listen, if you take on Julius Randle in this crazy contract, we'll give you like a couple second-round picks. I feel like that's the only way they move on. What is your favorite Knicks moment? This is a good question. I'm a young Knicks fan. I'm 22 years old, so I'm not, I wasn't around for the good old days. But my favorite Knicks moment has to be Carmelo Anthony on Easter. I got my Knicks Carmelo Anthony poster right there. I'll show you guys real quick. There's Melo. That's his first ever game as a Knick. But that Easter game against the Chicago Bulls, I just remember I was really young, and I just remember going absolutely crazy during that game. But there's a lot of good Knicks moments, but a lot more worse. Lynn Sanity was also awesome, but nothing beats Melo, man. Leon Rose. Guys want to talk about Leon Rose? What do you guys want to talk about, man? We got 280 people in the stream. This is ridiculous, guys. Wow. Can we get this over 200 likes? If we get this over 200 likes, I promise you guys, I'm going to be going crazy and giving you guys so much more content. We have 284 people in the stream, 168 likes. If we get this over 200 likes by the end of the stream, I'm going to make so much more Knicks content you guys can ever imagine. I want you guys also, when this video is over, not right now in the stream, but when this video concludes, I want you down below in the comment section, comment down below some video ideas. Some, what do you want me to talk about the Knicks? Because I'd love to give you guys what you want. I also want to go out there and collaborate with other Knicks YouTubers. So if you guys know of any Knicks YouTubers that you want me to talk about or talk with, let me know. I want Leon Rose fired. Is that a real take? Is that a real take? I hope that's fake. Hit that like button. Henny God. J.R. Smith. Hit that like button, man. Appreciate that. All my homies hate Leon Rose. Damn, there's a lot of people that are not Leon Rose fans. That's pretty interesting. I wonder why. Why don't you guys like Leon Rose? I feel like Leon Rose has done a good job so far. Oh, gosh. Why is everyone suggesting RJ Barrett to be traded? I don't know. That makes no sense to me. I would not trade RJ Barrett. Something I would not do. Hold on to him. Do you think we should start Kevin Knox? It's interesting. I would like to start Kevin Knox, but he's on a short leash because if he starts and he doesn't play well, he needs to get ripped out of that starting lineup because I loved what I saw from Knox's rookie season. And then all of a sudden, his second year, he kind of regressed. And I think that's because of playing time and coaching. Do not trade. Yeah, here we go. Leon Rose is the guy. We got to keep him. Jeffrey, I agree. Leon Rose is our guy. RJ Barrett is grossly overrated. I think he's underrated, to be honest. I think there's no one talking about RJ Barrett in the media that he's good. So I don't know why people think he's overrated. I think that nobody really talks about him at all, to be honest. That's my opinion, though. You guys are always allowed to disagree with anything I say. I'm just using this platform to voice my opinion. Who is the best player on the Knicks? I think Mitchell Robinson is. Mitchell Robinson is the best player in the Knicks. I mean, in terms of who was on the Knicks from last year, Mitchell Robinson looks like the most promising player. Yeah, I don't know how. Wow. So I was live. I've been live for 55 minutes so far. Wow. That's pretty insane. I was planning on going live for a half hour, but then you guys kept coming crazy in here. So I might end the stream off soon. So if you guys have any last questions, let me know. Let me know of any last questions. Is Obi Toppin the skinnier version of Zion Williamson? This is an interesting take because I think that Obi Toppin, obviously you cannot compare him to Zion because Zion is like on another level. But what I like to compare it to is I feel like RJ Barrett thrived in Duke because he had a guy like Zion to, facilitate the ball to and take the leeway off of him. If Obi can become RJ Zion, like Zion was for RJ in Duke, if that makes any sense, that would be phenomenal. That would be awesome. If Obi can be that guy that elevates RJ's game, I would love it. Randall's not fit. Yeah, I agree. Randall needs to go. Will Robinson ever be an all-star? I do think he will be an all-star. I think that he could potentially become, I think it comes down to him, staying out of foul trouble, and can he get a consistent jump shot? Because if he gets that jump shot going, then let's go. This guy does not like the Randall haters. We got someone supporting Julius Randall. I support that. I support that. Do you wait, let me see. Do you like the Obi pick? I do like the Obi pick. He was definitely the best player available, and the Knicks went the best player available route. You can't go wrong with that. He was a top 5 draft pick in my books, and I like it. I like it. And this is another. Let's see this. Obi Toppin is like a young Amari Stoudemire. We got Obi-1. He's wearing that number 1 jersey. And I think that Obi has potential to be like a more athletic version of who has, I think if Obi can really get a consistent mid-range jump shot and post-game, and most importantly, defense, then he has a lot of potential. But his defense needs to be worked on. You got to give him that. All right, so I think I'm coming on the end of the stream. You guys are killing it. Wow, we did hit over 200 likes on the stream. You guys are phenomenal. Thank you guys so much. Before I end the stream, I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the support. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you guys are not already. I'm going to be posting a lot of content on this channel, daily content, all about the New York Knicks. PlayStation 5 2K content coming soon. I'm going to be breaking down each individual player in a separate video, breaking down position breakdowns, some predictions of what's going to happen in the year, my thoughts on Tom Thibodeau. And again, if you guys have any, take on what type of videos you want to see from me, any more, live streams like this, I would love to do these all the time. Let me know what you guys want to see from me because I want to please you guys. I'm just using this platform to voice my opinion. I'm nothing special. You guys are diehard Knicks fans, just like I'm a Knicks fan. I'm just here voicing my opinion. And again, if you guys disagree with anything I'm saying, that is totally okay. You guys are entitled to your own opinion, and I love hearing your guys' take. So again, thank you guys so much, and appreciate all the support. Right after I end this video, go down below in the comments and let me know some video ideas you want to see from me. Thank you guys so much, and it's been fun. I'm going to answer a couple more questions. Do these all the time. All right, guys, if you guys want to see me go live more often, then I think I might have to. If you guys want to see me go live, Henny God, can't wait. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Good job. Richie, where are you from? I'm from Long Island. Long Island, New York is where I'm from. I wish I could go to Knicks games at Madison Square Garden. It's going to suck that I can't, but it's whatever. We got my boy Jack. What's good, Rich? This is my boy Jack. He's probably going to be featured on the Knicks media channel eventually. You guys will get to know Jack very well soon. He's a normal on my Jets channel, and Jack is a Knicks fan, so he will definitely be coming on. Richie, don't go. Charlie, I'm sorry. I've been live for an hour. I think it's time to wrap it up. You guys are phenomenal. You guys got 200 likes on my first ever stream about the New York Knicks. Wow. I mean, listen, I did not expect this. I thought that it would take a while to build up a Knicks channel, but you guys are making it so much more fun. And I'm so excited to be part of the Knicks community. You guys are phenomenal. Knicks Nation, I love you guys. Stay tuned for more content. That does it for this stream, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Peace out, guys.